Hello everyone, I am back in the culinary barn with another recipe video for you. Today, however, I am not baking and I am not cooking. I am doing something somewhat unusual for me, but I'm doing cocktails for you. These are two of my go-to summer cocktails, whether it's just for myself or if I have some friends coming over. Really simple to make. Really refreshing on a hot summer day. I fell in love with both of these cocktails when I was living in Liguria. We have a Sgroppino, which is essentially two ingredients, really good lemon sorbetto and some Prosecco. And then I'm also going to show you how to put together a Hugo spritz, which is made with Saint-Germain, which is probably my favorite liqueur. It's an elderflower liqueur from France, and it's a little pricey to have a bottle kicking around, but honestly, I can stretch a bottle well over a year using it just simply for cocktails, but I also use it in some baking applications as well. So we're going to have a little bit of fun. I've got a friend waiting in the wings who's going to share one of these cocktails with me, and I've got a little book recommendation for you, of course, because if I'm going to have a little cocktail, even though I happen to have a friend here, if I was alone, I would be sitting outside in the garden reading a little something, so I'll share that with you as well. But let's get started first with the Sgroppino. Sgroppino is actually a Venetian drink, although I actually had it for the first time in Liguria. Essentially, the translation means to loosen up or to untie, actually, in Venetian dialect. And it was often served at the end of really kind of bacchanalian feasts of rich, fatty foods, and it was meant to kind of cleanse the palate. And like I said earlier, I tend to actually more often make this as a dessert, but it does double as both. And really all you need is some good quality sorbetto. This is an Italian one from Coppa, which is an Ontario company. Most importantly, just make sure it's made with actual lemon juice, not like a faux concentrate, just really good, simple, 3, maybe 4 ingredients tops. A little bit of lemon for garnish, and then a little bit of Prosecco. And in this case, we're using Prosecco in both cocktails, so it's a good reason to open up a bottle if you have 3 or 4 friends coming over. Otherwise, just buy yourself a little piccolo bottle of Prosecco. And this couldn't be easier. You don't need ice, obviously, because the sorbetto acts as the ice. So I've just got a little cocktail glass here and a couple of scoops of this icy lemon sorbetto. And if you want to make this a little bit more elegant for a dessert, you can just use a shorter glass or maybe even a champagne flute or a little coupe glass. So your sorbetto in, and then we're just going to top this with some Prosecco, and it's going to fizz up. So that, and then we just need a little bit of lemon just to garnish, just a little spritz in there, and then I just tuck the lemon down, and then you can top up with a bit more. I don't like to fill the glass all the way. And then if you want to, you can garnish with a little bit of basil or mint. I'm just going to take a little bit of this baby tendril mint and just put that on top, and nice little spoon in, and there you have a very simple classic Sgroppino. And as it melts, the sorbetto will blend in with the icy cold Prosecco. Oh my goodness. I mean, quite frankly, any time of year this is delicious, but on a hot, sweltering day, this is the ticket. It's so good. This brings back great memories of Liguria. Try this one. Super simple. Most importantly, use good quality sorbetto. Like most Italian things, use the best quality of what you can and use a little bit of it. It goes a long way. All right, and now on to the Hugo Spritz, which this version I believe is sort of the Italian cousin to the original French Saint-Germain Hugo Spritz by adding Prosecco to it. Now you can, I've seen versions of this recipe where they include a little bit of vodka. Also in the Sgroppino recipe, there are versions where they include vodka as well. I just don't think it's necessary. I think just simply the Prosecco alone is good. But for my recipe for the Hugo Spritz, I've got a nice little French cocktail glass here. And in my, isn't this amazing? This is a vintage 1950s shaker. So I'm gonna go in with some ice, and I've got some mint here. I'm just gonna pull off a few leaves here and put those down into the shaker. And I'm also gonna put a couple more of these baby ones just into the glass as well. I'm gonna take a little bit of lemon, little squeeze of that, and I'm actually gonna put the round in there as well. And then this is the Saint-Germain, this beautiful kind of mid-century modern, or I guess it's actually really Art Deco style bottle. And I typically eyeball this, but per serving, it's about half an ounce. But honestly, if you really like the flavor of Saint-Germain, just use more. Totally up to you. And then we've got more Prosecco going in. I'm just gonna finish off this little piccolo bottle because this is just cocktail for one. And then I've got a little bit of San Pellegrino sparkling water, any frizzante water, even tonic you could use. And then I'm just gonna lid on, and I'm not gonna vigorously shake this, but just shake it around. And then I can just take my little spout off here and just pour over. And then just a little bit more lemon just for looks. Just pop these seeds out. Uno, due, tre. And just pop that in. And if you want, you can add the ice to it. I prefer not, but icy cold. The smell, you get the Saint-Germain, the smell of the elderflower right away, a little bit of the citrus, a hint of that mint. It doesn't even really taste like you're drinking alcohol, honestly, which may be dangerous. But again, on a hot summer day, super refreshing, light, very elegant, very pretty. Book recommendation, if you're so inclined to sit out in the garden or in the shade or even lay in the hammock while you enjoy one of these two beverages. But I thought this one was particular. I have actually read this before, but if you know me, or even if you don't, FYI, I tend to read books over and over again, particularly when they're good. This one is called Under the Olive Tree, Memories and Flavors of Puglia, and this is by Anna Maggio. And it's a combination of nonfiction as well as recipes. And I just love the embossed cover of it, but it's a beautiful short read because again, a lot of it is recipes, but this is perfect under a nice big shade tree, in a hammock, at the beach, wherever. Little cocktail, Sgroppino, Hugo. It's a good choice.